Um, One thing I wanted to chat with you about is being a military kid. I imagine has set you up for the rigors that come with being a touring musician because you have to get used to a lot of different areas. You have to get used to moving and traveling and all of that. And then on top of that, when you're not a military kid anymore, your family's in a band and they're traveling doing that too.
Yeah.
So, has that made things easier for you? Because there's a lot of rigors to who you are. You're a mom, you're a wife, you're a songwriter, you're indie, so you do everything, right? Your promotion
Yeah.
and graphics and everything's on you. So, did that help you? Do you think?
Yes, it did in quite a bit of ways. If I had learned early on how to apply that better to my life, that would have been much better. Sorry, just a moment. No,
You're
no.
fine.
My cat, she's trying to get in the and stuff. Um,
She's the
she's
star. Come on now.
she's nosy. Uh, yeah, I wasn't a very teachable kid with schedules and regular. I was very much a free spirit. I, I might have been living in my head most of my childhood and teen years. I was very much just literally, I read books all the time and just was gone. And
Yeah.
that probably didn't help me with the depression either because I was kind of like just checked out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I later life, yes, but early on, not as much as it should have.
Sounds like
But
you were just
I'm doing
trying
much
to
better now.
escape the chaos. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, honestly, the chaos in my own mind was craziness. And
Yeah.
so just, yeah, I just never, it was never calm. It was
Yeah.
never calm in my head. So yeah, no, and that's a good way. That's honestly very true. That's probably exactly what I was doing.
Does music
Yeah.
calm that for you?
Yes, depends on music.
Yeah.
uh, it, I love to, uh, when so I used to, anytime I was going through something difficult, I wrote, and that's my whole first album is about. Um, but then I started to realize that I could write in the joyful moments too. And so that has really helped me to be able to commemorate the joyful, happy moments and also realize that those are just as many, if not more, than the hard, difficult moments. But listening to music, yes, 100% helps.
Let me ask you a
There are
question,
times.
not to cut you off, but I don't want to forget. Um, you talked about the joyful part of it. Knowing where you came from, how hard was it for you to convince yourself that people wanted to hear that side of you?
So hard. Still struggle a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Actually, so funny story. My mom called me the other day and told me that she had ran into someone that was apparently a big fan, and they were kind of fangirling or guying or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she was telling me how it was a little bit like my mom's very reserved, very just chill, like
Hmm.
she's complete opposite of me. I'm a little spaz. I call myself a chihuahua for a reason. So I'm just like, but she was just like, she was telling me this person was just like such a huge fan. They just wanted a napkin that was signed or something, anything for me. They were freaking out, and I was like, and this is back in Kansas, and I'm like, what? They were so excited to just be around my mother
Yeah.
that they would have like probably passed out if they'd been around me, and I'm like, what? What is happening?
Yep.
And so like to have people connect so hard, and the fact of the matter is for me, like I said, I hated my voice when I was younger, and now in recent years I've realized that my voice is uniquely me, and I've learned to embrace it. And I've tried very hard that if there's any young artists out there that when they tell me, I just can't stand my voice recorded, I'm like, just relax, embrace your voice, you'll learn to love it. And I love to listen to my recordings now because I hear the new me. I
Hmm.
hear the me that I was dying to be when I was 15 years old. The
Yeah.
the me that I thought I would never see. I hear in my music now. I'm sorry, I'm all emotional. It's
No,
like,
this is great. This is great stuff. I love that. You're just showing the healing side of the things that have happened to you. And God, it's such a cool road that you've traveled. And like I said, when we started the show, Survivor, Victor, like all of those things that you should own. And I hope you do because you deserve to own them. Let's talk about studio. Because songwriting is one thing, being in the studio is a completely different thing. But they're both uber important to the creative process. So what's
Right.
studio like for Cynthia Rausch?
So it's been a lot of, I don't even know how to explain it. So I'm actually fixing to have my first full-on studio experience. We're going to be spending 3 days solid in the studio. I'm very excited. I get to be there from start to finish
Wow.
of a song. When I was working with a producer in at a studio in Kansas, he was very talented, and he played all the instrumentation on my song, and he could whip out a song in like 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
And from start to master or finish, I had my complete song. And then I came down to Texas, and they're like, "Oh, you have to wait like 2 to 3 weeks," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I've recorded at Rosewoods. I've recorded at BGM Studios in San Antonio, Rosewoods out of Tyler,
Yeah.
and I'm fixing to record at Warm Studios in I never say it right.
Leander.
Leander. Thank you. I'm terrible with names. And down by Austin, and I'm going to be able to be in there for the whole creative process from start to finish, and I'm so excited because that's going to be a whole new experience for me. I was there beginning to end for like the 3 hour process, but it was different. I wasn't as involved as I wanted to be. We didn't get to tweak it. We get to sleep on it and come back and listen, kind of thing. And also I'm getting to take my whole band down there, and they're going to be on all my tracks, and they're amazing. They're just super talented guys, and I'm so excited to work with them. And my manager is also my producer for this endeavor, so I'm very excited. It's going to be all new, and it's been kind of like all over the place to this point, and I'm very excited to experience it this way. And so I don't know, I'll let you know.
Well, congratulations with that, all of that. Let us know how it goes. Keep us informed for sure. Because, man, I love being in the studio. I'm not an artist, not a songwriter, none of that stuff. I'm just a really curious dude. But I've spent a lot of time in studios watching other people in the creative process. It's just such a cool thing. And I've been lucky enough to be in some pretty cool rooms like Faith and Muscle Shoals and Sun Studios in Memphis. Like,
Wow.
I've seen the actual lathe that Otis Redding songs and stuff like that were made on. Man, it's been a cool ride.
Wow.
But, imagine not
That's
being
awesome.
a musician and being able to experience that. I've had my hands on the Abbey Road console, which, by the way, is in Texas. Believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Did
in
not know.
Palmer, Texas, which is right by like Midlothian.
Oh, wow. Not too far from me.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Cool.
actual Abbey Road console. Like, literally, McCartney and Lennon touched it. Like, what? Yeah, so, man,
Were you
being in the studio is just so magical, man. You're going to have so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun with that. And, all right, so I have one last thing I want to ask you before we have some fun with Cynthia. And we have the in-depth part, which is where we're at now, and then later on we have a bunch of fun segments that are kind of breaking it up, and people love the having fun segments. So but anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, I feel like, is a lost art, especially with indie musicians, and I know why. It's expensive, and that's delivering your message through a music video. And you have some fabulous music videos. I love your videos. As an artist, a songwriter, a creative being, describe the importance of having a music video in being able to further the delivery of your message with your song.
It's so like literally as soon as I write a song, my brain starts going to the story that it can tell in a music video. And so it's so important. And you're right, it is a lost art. It's not as emphasized on like it used to be because people aren't feeling like they have an opportunity to showcase it like they used to. But actually, we have more platforms than we've ever had.
Yes.
And so to me, I'm like, you might get like 1,000 views on that video, but you just took that song and went from just a sound that they heard to you put it in front of their eyes, and then they felt this and this. Like it's just like a whole experience. And no, my husband is so talented. He's the one that shot most of those videos, and he does all the editing and everything. And I'm very blessed that he is so talented because I couldn't afford people.
Right.
So it's expensive. It is expensive. You're right. But it is so important. And if you find the right people with the right passion, a lot of times they are willing to help out, especially if the song has meaning and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, like my music video for Coming Home. It was shot in Emporia, Kansas, which is the home, the birthplace of Veterans Day, and it was shot by a veteran. The producer was a veteran for that video, and it has veterans in it, and so it's for veterans. So it's like a huge, like, all these different moments coming in, and literally have had so many veterans like respond to that in a way that they want to feel heard. They want to feel, people want to feel heard.
Yep.
And music videos really help to really drive the message home. And I don't know, I could harp on this all day, but it is so important. It is. I know you can't do it for every song, but the songs that really have value and meaning and purpose, definitely put a video behind them and just blow it up for people to really, because you never know, it might just be one person, but you might be the whole world to that one person.
Exactly right. And that's why I feel like a lot of the mainstream artists today, even without a music video, like they'll have a record, right? Like a 12-song record or whatever. And every single cut on the record will have a visualizer at the very least. Right, yeah. They're not just putting out a static image with their music anymore. Like, there's something for somebody to watch, whether it's a lyric video or a visualizer or official video, whatever it is. And I think everybody needs to do that, because honestly, like, visualizers are not that hard to make, and they're really not. And they man, if you can put a record of yours on Spotify, which allows videos now, and YouTube, which is always allowed videos, and you have platforms like TikTok and Facebook. All of those things have videos. You can cut them up into shorts, into little reels. There's so much you can do with all of that. And I feel like if you just let your publishing company put the record out onto YouTube and Spotify, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you need to do better. I just feel that way as a consumer, as somebody who's talked to a lot of people, and you're doing it right, Cynthia. You truly are.
Thank you.
And I think that's a big part of why you're being seen and heard more than a lot of other artists who are just throwing stuff out through their publisher. And I feel like that's the lazy way out. And I hate saying that, because I know how hard it is to put this stuff together through the songwriting and the production and engineering of everything, and then all the indie stuff that you got to do, the promotion and all that. And then you're not going the further step by putting a lyric video with your stuff or a visualizer. And it's just not that much more of a step, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah. If I may,
sure.
I feel like, this is just a personal opinion, I feel like these, like, I have nothing against The Voice or American Idol, but I feel like this go from nothing to suddenly this big deal that and everything's done for you concept has ruined a lot of new artists.
Of course.
Because they think it should be like that even if you're not on the show. Mm-hmm. Like you should, and I even kind of fell into that for a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, where and also not understanding and not researching and educating ourselves on how it actually works and what we need to be doing. Mm-hmm. And it is very hard to learn if you're not willing to put in the work.
Yep.
The work really is educating yourself. And I still have so much to learn, but I've learned so much.
Yeah, how are you going to know if it's being done well unless you know it's being done well?
Yeah. And so that's been my biggest thing. Like I've tried out for The Voice. I'm just gonna be honest. I've tried out for The Voice 8 times.
Yeah.
And rejected at 8 times. Sorry. Cat, go away.
It's fine.
He wants to be in the video.
That's called character.
So, but I'm like, you know what? I got rejected 8 times. At first I wanted to do it just because it's the easy way out. Honestly, I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can just do the easy thing, like you said. But that's not how it works. And honestly, I'm so glad it didn't work out, because I love what I've learned, and I feel so much more safe because I have learned what I've learned. And it's kept me from a lot of really bad decisions.
And bad habits too. Bad habits too. And
yes.
And it's not just competition shows either. It's not just The Voice and American Idol. It's just, instant virality too, right? Being viral and trending. And man, it's so hard when you go or you're scrolling TikTok, and I'm guilty of this. I'll be scrolling TikTok and my algorithm's full of music, and I love that. That's a great thing. Mm-hmm. But then you find somebody who's literally blowing up because of a message or a lyric or a line or a hook, right? And then you go to their Spotify and it's like crickets. There's nothing there. Like there's no content. So they're TikTok famous or Instagram famous. And I mean, what are you doing? You're not paying your bills. You're not learning anything. You're not paying gigs. You're not writing songs. You just
Yeah.
you had a hook, and a lot of people like the hook.
Yeah, and I have nothing against people that get that little moment of opportunity. I'm happy for them, but I'm also scared for them because it's if you don't know the industry, if you and I'm like I said, I'm still learning, and I've been in this for going on 7 years. If you don't know the industry, at least the basics of it, you're gonna flop
Yep,
on your face
absolutely.
so hard.
And that
And it's the
virality is
bigger
really hard
audience
to
you-
replicate too. It's really difficult to do it
Yes.
twice.
And the bigger audience you have, the bigger your flop's gonna be.
Yeah.
And so I'm so glad I've played to tiny audiences for so long because one, it made me appreciate when I got down here. There's just like so much love, and so many people in the music, in so many venues, so many music venues. There's not music venues hardly at all in Kansas,
Yeah.
and that aren't like for bigger names. And so like when I got down here and saw the audiences and just how they are so connected to the artist and what's happening on stage, I'm just like, wow, thank you. Like, and there are those in Kansas that do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna badmouth Kansas at all, but they just don't have as much opportunity for those situations to happen as Texas does. Texas got its own thing. It's just it's its own beast, and I love it. It's awesome.
What a great topic to talk about. I appreciate you going down that road with me. It's so true, man. Just the instant access, the instant trending, all of that stuff, and those people disappear more times than not, right? Like the Island Boys. You don't hear about them anymore. They had that viral moment. They made lots of money from that viral moment. Now what are they doing? Nobody knows.